Hi everyone! Recently, as in like 2 days ago, I got a desk and I just finished setting everything up yesterday. So I thought that I would do a workspace tour now while everything is organized, and then show you where I keep all my supplies, and I also have a cabinet next to it which I might show you, but it's kind of boring. So let's just get started. First of all, we have this chair which came from IKEA, and I put it together a couple of days ago when I got it. And it's just a metal chair, and it has wheels on it, and there's also a mat on the floor, if you can see, because I have carpet and the chair wouldn't roll on my carpet. So that's really nice, and I really like this chair. Next to my desk over here, that's where I store my big envelopes for mailing things for pen pals or whatever. And this thing on the floor is a water pipe because we have hot water heat because our house is really old. And that's just covering it so that if like I touched it when the heat was on, it wouldn't like burn me. Right here I have some musical instruments. There's some other ones that aren't there yet. And this is a record player, my postal scale. Under there is a box of thread, and then next to it it's kind of unorganized, but that's all my music for band and for guitar and ukulele and other things. Now this desk is actually two pieces, like it's a two-piece set of things when you buy it, and it's also from IKEA. It has this cabinet part and the desk, and then this top shelf is another optional additional piece. And I had a hard time getting a desk because at IKEA a lot of their things are either 36 inches, which is like really tiny, or 47 inches, which wouldn't fit next to my window because my window's right here and it would like go over the window. So this is 41 inches and I'm like super excited about it because it fits perfectly. Alright, so this first drawer, actually starting under the desk, I have two big canvases and like 5 or 6 little square ones, and I have some more canvases, but they're stored behind my dresser because I don't really need them all under here taking up space, but that's just where I keep those. In this big drawer, which doesn't pull out so you can see the back of it, this needs to be focused. It doesn't pull out so you can see the back of it, but that's the way I have it because if I had it forward, the tray, then I wouldn't have all this storage up here. So back here we have scissors and hole punches and like the decorative scissors. And then right here, these are all the dry erase markers and highlighters. The reason I have the dry erase markers right here is because this back piece is a dry erase board as well as a magnet board, so I can use those markers on there. Right here we have all these pens, and these things are for the typewriter. It's like a typewriter eraser. It can rub out the ink, and that's what the pink one is too. Right here we have all the mechanical pencils, and I have my other pencils stored somewhere else. I'll show you. But these are little gems, and I shouldn't have a better place to keep them. So those are right there. And then in this back thing that you can't really see on camera, it has things like another pencil sharpener, sticky notes, erasers, tacks, safety pins, those kind of things. Alright, in the front of the drawer there are some little containers that I'm going to use for crafts, but I'm just keeping them here for now. I have 2 of the little Altoids and then some other matchboxes and things. I have business cards under here and a pin to make your own like button that I haven't done yet. And then we have all kinds of glue all along here. Pencil sharpener, eraser, tape, glue stick, hot glue. My hot glue gun isn't up here. It's downstairs right now, but it would go in this drawer. And then this thing has letter beads in it, and this thing has like buttons and all sorts of little crafty things that I can use, and I just store them in there so they don't get lost. This thing is a 3-hole punch, and that's pretty much it for this drawer. Next, in this side drawer, I have most of my watercolor things, and I'll just go through and show them to you. These are a 12-pack of Prismacolor watercolor pencils, and I haven't used them that much because I only got them a few months ago, and I haven't really had a lot of time to experiment with them. Sorry if there's background noise, my window's open because it's warm and we don't have air conditioning. These are watercolor crayons, and I got these on a trip, and I've actually used them a lot, and I really like them, so they're kind of like a kid art supply, but they're really fun. This is a Koi travel water set, and it's not actually the one I use very much, although as you can see I've used it a bit. I really like it. It just has a lot of colors in it, and they're not very like super high quality paints, so I don't know. I probably bring it to Ireland with me because I'm going to Ireland this summer. But this is like my main watercolor set. I'll open it up. You've probably seen it in videos. Can I do this one-handed? Yeah. And this green always falls out. But it's the one I made with 2 watercolors, and I have all the colors labeled on the sides, or on the bottom, but you can't really see it. So it's just all of my regular watercolors. Anyway, these are all my watercolors, and I don't really know what brands they are actually because I made this forever ago, but they were kind of a good brand of watercolors. So that's that. Over here I have this set of watercolors, which I've used a lot because they are cheap watercolors, but I do like them, and I use them in my art journals and in my sketchbooks, so I don't use my good watercolors for that. And yeah, they're just Simply Art, and they're like the $6 watercolors. And then these are also, I believe, by Simply Art, and this is what their newer set looks like. I'm totally in pajamas, by the way, just whatever. These are just bigger pans of watercolors, and they, I don't know, I use them, but I mostly use them when I lost my other set for a while because I left it somewhere and I didn't know I had, so I bought those as a replacement because I couldn't find the smaller ones. And then the last thing in this drawer is this little Winsor & Newton set. This is super hard to do one-handed. Okay, there we go. And this is the set I use the most out of all of them, and I bring this traveling with me. And it's just a little Cotman pocket set, and I love it, and it has a little tiny brush in there, and it is really great. And then there's a water brush. Oh, this is the water brush. It's from the Koi set, but I usually just use it with this when I take it places. It's kind of dirty, but it does have water in it right now. So that is that for my top watercolor drawer. Now the last storage area in the actual desk is this cabinet. And there's just 3 shelves in it, and it's kind of boring, so I'm not going to really go into much detail. This bottom shelf has, like, a yearbook from last year at school, it has my journal, some empty sketchbooks, the book where I glue in all my pen pal stuff I get from my pen pals. It has some records in it for the record player. There's just 3 right here. And this is also a set of records, but it's like Boston Pops stuff, and I haven't actually listened to them, but I just got them from my grandpa, so I don't know, those are in there for now. And there's just some other sketch pads and the book where I like my Polaroid photo album. This top shelf, now these shelves are really super deep. I don't know if you can tell, but they're really deep, and this isn't taking up much space, so I could put another box behind it, but it'd be kind of hard to get to. This has all of my washi tape in it, and the ones that are on cards back here are for are ones I got from my pen pals on little sample cards. And yeah, that's just all my tape, and a lot of it came in a big set of like 40, which is why there's a ton of like flowery tape in there, because I bought a big set. And then this middle shelf, I'm not going to take things off it, but it basically just has other watercolors, because I have a ton of watercolors because I love them. There's also a pack of oil pastels. There's 2 palettes in here because they're too wide to fit in the drawer. I have some metallic watercolors, another set of these ones I use for my art journal, but that one doesn't have a lid on it. These are some like really cheap kids watercolors that I got, and I don't even know where they came from, but those are in there. And there's some instruction booklets, like the idea guide for some of the sets I have that I just store in there as well. Now that's pretty much it for the desk itself, like these cabinets, and yeah. So now let's move on to what's on the desk surface and above that. So on the surface of the desk right now, I just have sitting the lens cap for this camera that I'm filming on. Oh my goodness. My phone. This is my current like mixed media sketchpad that I have. Art journal sketchpad thing. On top of the desk, I have this mat, which I got with the desk, and it's pretty much the same as the one that's on the floor. It's just small. And that's here because if I get paint on this, I can just wipe it off the mat, whereas it might stain the surface of the desk. So, I don't know. Plus, it's like all a desk pad also, so it's like nice to write on versus just writing on like a hard surface that's not like very pleasant. On the back of the desk, this is the magnet board I was telling you about. The painting over here is from my little cousin. That is one of my other little cousins, not the one that did the painting. This is the list of all my pen pals. and where they're from. I used to have a big list of all their addresses and stuff, but I don't have it up here anymore. And then over here there's the that's a just a note, and these are different things from this one, and that one are from when we went to see the magnets. I mean, are from when we went to see Peter Pan in Chicago. That one's from Disney. And I have a lot more magnets, but they're in my locker at school, and we're on a break from school right now for 4 days because of Memorial Day, so I have to get them when I go back to school on tomorrow, Tuesday. Yeah, so there's a hole back here for cords if you have like a laptop or a computer on your desk, and I do have a laptop, but I don't keep it here all the time, like it's charging elsewhere right now. But I don't usually put the cords down there just because it's kind of a pain to get them down there. It's for if you like have a desktop computer on your desk mostly, I'm thinking. So, I don't know, if I put it, I might want to get like a lamp and put it here, but that's probably what I would use that for, because there is an outlet behind my desk. Okay, on this side of my desk I have this little mat. It's a placemat, it's just a watermelon, and it's so the bottom of this doesn't scratch the desk. This is the bin where I have all of my Copics, and other markers, like the Blick markers and stuff. And then, yeah, all those things. This one has all of my Jelly Roll pens in it. This one has a ton of colored pencils, but also this whole bin back here is full of colored pencils. Like, I just have a ton of colored pencils, and I probably should get rid of some of them, but that's where they are right now. They're just kind of mixed brands, like Crayola, and there's some that are, like, good colored pencils. Not, like, Prismacolor, but, like, I don't know, there's some, like, actual, like, student grade colored pencils in there as well. So, this thing, actually, I've showed this in videos before, and people ask me, this is a silverware organizer with 3 things here for, like, forks, knives, spoons, but I have my different color groups in there, like warm colors, cool colors, neutrals, and golds, and, like, metallic colors. So, this whole side is empty, if you can tell, and probably for napkins, but I don't know where it came from. Alright, this is just a mason jar, and one of those like blue mason jars, and I think it's really pretty, except for it has paint all over it now. And this is kind of gross paint water, but it's from when I was doing watercolor yesterday. This is the colored pencils, and they're just organized by color, but I have too many cool colors, so some of them are not in the right area. There's an eraser in here too. It's just my colored pencils, and I just open it up when I need to do something with colored pencils, which isn't very often because I don't really like colored pencils. These are my Staedtler fine liners that I use for drawing, and a lot of them I use for pen pal letters. And actually in this pen thing in the drawer, there's more that came with a smaller set, like more like dark neutrals that are good for letter writing, which is why they're in here and not in that big set. But yeah, alright. Up here I have various little things. This pencil pouch has different styluses in it for tablet drawing, like drawing on tablets, with like, I don't know what the app is, like Adobe Sketchbook or something. That's just has various styluses in it so they wouldn't get lost. This thing has all of my paintbrushes in it, and I'm not going to open it up, but it's just all of the paintbrushes. This is my little photo album where I keep my stamps for pen pal letters. There's just a lot of stamps in here pretty much. Yeah, and that actually isn't my idea. My grandma gave me a bunch of stamps for my birthday in that little album, and I thought it was such a good idea that I just keep keeping my stamps in there. This is a bunch of old Scrabble tiles that I got from the same grandma that got me the stamps, actually. She had an old Scrabble game that the board was like ripped, and she gave me all the tiles to use. The little thing next to it is a sticker maker that I used to make stickers, obviously. This banner came from Amazon, by the way. It's a fabric banner, and I had it at my birthday party, but now it's here. This thing, I should stand up and show you. This container is like a macaron container, but it doesn't have the lid on it, and it has all my like kawaii stationery that I use for pen pal letters and stickers and whatever in there. This is like a little palette I used, and there's some other pieces of cardboard for like scraps back there. These are some pins that I'm working on, and they're just here because they're kind of like in progress. And then this yellow container has all of these tiny Ziploc baggies that I use to send pen pal things in, or like packaging things for my shop or that kind of thing. Okay, finally for the top of the desk, I have this green container which has pens, the Crayola Super Tips markers, these random markers, more markers, and my pencils that aren't like my super good pencils that I use for like school and whatever. Like my mechanical pencils are in the drawer. And then these are 2 oil brushes that are too tall to fit in my brush container. This is all of my polymer clay, and the box is really messy and it doesn't close, which is why there's a piece of duct tape on it. But if you can see from the bottom, I just have all of my clay in there. And then this bin has all of my stickers, and they're mostly stacked. These are just too small to stack, so they kind of slid up on the side. And I use them for pen paleters and stuff. Alright, and up on here, I'm going to zoom in. There we go. This is where I have my Polaroids, and there's a pack of Instax mini film, which has 20 pictures, and an Impossible Project film for this Sun 600 camera, which has 8 pictures on it, and I'm saving them for my trip to Ireland, which is why they're not opened. And then this camera over here is a Polaroid Swinger, and you can't buy film for it anymore, so it's just like a decoration. The Sun 600, obviously, the film's on top of it. And then back here we have this old-fashioned film camera from Germany, which you can actually take pictures with, but I have never done it, so I don't know if it works, but you can buy like 35mm film. I don't know. I don't really do film besides like my different Polaroids. These are some big things of paint, and they're too big to fit in this big organizer, which is where I have all my other paint, and it's just hanging right here so I can reach it from my desk. Just to grab the paint, and it's just all craft paint. These are oils, these are gouache, this is also gouache, they just didn't fit. This is all acrylic. These are oil paints, but not the water mixable oils. Those are like actual oil paints, and I've never tried them because I got them from my grandma's neighbor, and I haven't really had a chance to try them. And then all of this is watercolor, and some of them are the ones I used to make my palette. Okay, really quick, I'll just show you what's next to my desk. I have my sewing machine because I don't want to keep it on my desk. I have a typewriter too, but it's sitting on my dresser because I didn't want to keep it on the desk. This is my trash can. Just has trash in it, really. This is my tripod, and next to it are all of my rainbow balloon things and some scrapbook paper. Because I don't have a better place to keep them, they're just right there. I haven't done rainbow loom in ages, but I still have all the stuff. And then this is at the end of my bed. This shelf is kind of a mess, because I kind of organized the desk and not this. So I have some duct tape. This basket has all my felt in it, and there's also my finished rainbow loom bracelets in the bottom, just because. These 2 boxes are empty. No, the bottom one has candy to send to pen pals, the top one's empty. The little drawer right there is from a little cabinet, and it has coins in it to send to pen pals. These are some old notebooks, and on top of it is another Polaroid 600 camera, except it's the shutter's like kind of broken on it, so it'll take pictures like if you bump it, which is not good because you waste all your film, which is why I have the new 600. This is the thing where I have all my pen pal letters that are in progress, because sometimes I'll see things and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to send that to this pen pal, so then I'll get an envelope ready and put it in that box, so that next time I get a letter from them, I can reply with that envelope and already have like some stuff picked out for them. Behind that is all of my craft wire, because if I put it anywhere else, it like bounces all over the place and makes a huge mess, so I just shoved it back there. Right here, this little suitcase on top has all of my stationery in it, like envelopes and note paper, besides like the kawaii note paper. This blue box has bookmarks and like die cuts and postcards and all kinds of like random things to send to pen pals, and it's pretty full. It's just kind of random stuff. This bin has all of my sewing stuff in it, and then under it are my stamps, and in the little bin next to it, it's a bunch of oil pastels. And in this little cardboard bin, I mean, and like packaging, clear packaging to use for things. Right here there's a thing of stamp cleaner, and next to it are things to do Chinese watercolor, Chinese like calligraphy things, and I have the brushes for them, and that's like the ink sticks and stuff like that. But I've never really done it, I just use the brushes for watercolor. Okay, this one is the one that's like a total mess, It's just like random kits. There's a thing of letter beads. There's absolutely nothing in that big, huge tan bin on the bottom. It's a jewelry, or like a jewelry box. It's part of a luggage set that I got at a garage sale. And, it has like my sticky labels and some stuff, sticker paper on top, and it's just kind of a mess. Next to it, these are all the letters I've gotten from my pen pals, and I might do a video someday of going through them, but I haven't done it yet because it's a pain to cover all the addresses to do a video, so I don't know, I'll probably do that at some point. Over here, this is all my yarn and my knitting loom things, and it's just kind of tangled up, and some of it's in that bin. And then, just sitting right there, that's a box of 1,000 marking tags, like the little tags on strings, that I use for when I do, like, garage sales and things, or, like, craft sales. And then finally down here, kind of falling out of the thing, these are, like, my Reckless Journal is in here, my finished sketchbooks, coloring books that I haven't colored in yet, because I don't really do that, and some scrapbook paper pads are in there. And I think that's pretty much it. So, my voice is dying, so I'm going to go now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!